So how's everybody doing? If I look sweaty, it's because I came from the gym. If I don't look sweaty, it's because I have great AC. So actually in this video, gonna be do something a little different. It's not gonna be about a poem or actually an art piece. Just want to talk a little more about me, so we keep on getting to know a little more about each other. And I'll just start off from where I can. So actually my birthday's in December and it's the 14th. And that makes me a Sagittarius, and in the Chinese New Year, a rabbit. Now, I don't remember everything that it describes from those two things, but probably a good amount of them actually do describe me. So, more about my childhood. So, growing up, I remember being afraid of a few things, and it was the darkness, just kind of like shadow and eeriness that creeped me out, and the neighborhood dogs, basically. And back then I was a small kid, so all the dogs definitely looked bigger than they probably were to me back then. So since I think a lot and I'm an imaginative person, that kind of makes sense of why those two things kind of freaked me out. Because like I used to, for some reason as a kid, I don't know, I used to have this imagination of like what's in the dark, and since it came to the other neighborhood dogs, they weren't my dogs. I didn't know them, I didn't spend time with them, so they just looked friendly, cute, but dangerously vicious if they just got loose or ran towards me and kind of scared me. And it got to the point where I remember actually not wanting to come outside because it just terrified me that much. And so talking about some other memories that I have. So there was actually this treehouse that I didn't build, and I don't know who builded it, but it was there growing up. It was I used to go to a few times because there was houses on my right side and country hills, just cows and kind of like endless trees and dry grass on my left side. So if you went back to the left side and go like deeper in, that treehouse was there. So I went there a few times, and I never did anything crazy. Nothing really too dangerous or anything. It was just there. It was a spot I kind of went to every once in a while. And there also was a creek by my house that went to a few times too. So now, talking about later on, I remember that there were a group of people that I met during my college years, and at the time they were a band and they're working on coming up. So I remember helping them pulling their instruments out and setting their instruments up. And a few locations we went to were mostly schools and a few festival spots. So I did that for a little bit. That was cool experiences. Had fun. And I did that mainly because I just wanted to help out friends. It wasn't about a goal of mine. So it seemed fun and I just did it. And I don't talk to them anymore, so that I don't know what they're at now or what they're doing. And like I said earlier, about being shy, talking to girls growing up and during high school and that rough time. So I remember actually being able to actually say that I had a legit girlfriend actually during my college years. Before then, I don't remember being able to say I had a girlfriend or girlfriends or having any type of actual relationship going. And I think the difference was because back then, the girls that didn't want to give me time, wanted to be mean, or they just wanted to act how they wanted to act, I had to deal with them. Unless I left school after homework, somehow found another group of people or something to hang out with or meet, or it just were a lot harder to do. So in college, when it came to such a more of a bigger space and a lot more people, I was able to just walk away from people that wanted to be mean or just wanted to be how they wanted to be, and hopefully find way more down to earth people and cooler people, and just I go my way to find what I want, just find what's up, and I don't have to deal with them. I can leave them alone if they want to stay like that. If they want to stay like that, let them stay like that. And I think that's the best part of why when I got to college, my relationships possibilities blossomed because I didn't have to deal with the girls that wanted to be mean and just wanted to be assholes, and just people that didn't either want to be friends or give a time of day and just wanting to be how they wanted to be. Way more room to explore. And so I don't remember actually most of my birthdays, I believe, but a few birthdays growing up. I remember one time when I was a kid that we watched scary movies. It was monster movies. It was all dudes that came over, so we watched those movies, ate cake late at night, and it was cool. And damn, I don't know why. I think because that movie was actually very scary in a good way. I think that made me scared of werewolves for a moment. Yeah, it's funny. Never been scared of werewolves before or monsters, but for some reason that one movie made me kind of like paranoid of werewolves for some reason. But also, let's get a fact straight. As you can tell, I am an imaginative person, so I like monsters. I like monsters. So a few top ones, of mythology and just imagination. Like I definitely like werewolves, dragons, elemental creatures, shapeshifters, and I believe there's a few more. And phoenixes. So those are like my top ones. There might be a few more if I do a little more research, but I definitely like those type of creatures. And gosh, later on in my life, I remember, honestly, I think this was either might have been a birthday or it might have been type of like a graduation party, but way past kid years. I did have a house party for a little bit, and that was a blast. Because nothing, it was all in the moment. I didn't know what to expect because I didn't have a big group of friends to call or a big group of people to be around. So it was like I wasn't sure who's gonna come, who's gonna show, besides like a few people. But that party was kind of cool. It was fun. And yeah, so right now I live between actually Frisco and Sac, and I've been to Sac a few times, like mainly to dance and kick it and hang out. And I like the city. And I've been to Frisco, of course, a few times, but I've mainly been to Frisco to do acting and kind of go to the beach. So those are two differences of why I've been to both cities, like acting, doing acting more, films, beaching more, and just kind of eating, hanging out with friends. But I do like both cities. But I also do want to live in an area where I have my space. I'm close enough to the city and what's going on. And I've never been in the country, but I never lived in a hardcore city like Frisco or Sacramento. Always been kind of lived in towns. So I also want to, so I want space that balances between like just going out and seeing, going out to the stars, having a big yard, and but not worrying about hella neighbors and their cars and being in like in a boxed in type of neighborhood. I want space to roam and just enjoy the space and have decent amount of privacy. So there are things I do want to do. I do want to go ATV riding. I do want to go on a speedboat and have be on that little raft thing as a boat drives and see what that's like. Man, I definitely want to do a lot of things, and I'll definitely get to them. And I had a lot of different jobs over the years, but I'm glad I'm not at them because they weren't the jobs for me. They were too kind of boxed in and regular. So through thick and thin, and I just found more and more what I wanted to do. And sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes a lot of things happen where you don't plan on, or a lot of things happen where you don't imagine it's gonna go that way. And at a certain point, you just find out a valuable lesson after things go how you don't expect for a while. So yeah. So I appreciate you guys' time, and thank you for watching. And just leave a little more about yourselves. Just tell me about some of your birthdays, some of your birthday experiences, just some stuff you've been through, childhood, later on in your life, and just what it's like where you live at. So thank you guys, and I'll get back to you soon. And a few more cool things I was actually through my life said I wanted. I do want like a cool, fun tree house. Just to enjoy a really custom one. I do want a custom pool that has like the waterfall and the lights and the space where you can go up and down, left and right. I do want that. And I remember saying like I wanted a custom house. Now, I don't mean a mansion, but it could be like a beachfront house that's really custom. And I don't want the typical like living room and backyard and just everything in the middle. Like I want it where there's like really fun rooms, different types, and, a few stories, and just really love where I live at. So if it happens, it happens. So stick to your goals and just keep your mind on right. So you guys get to learn a little more about me. Tell me more about you, and I appreciate the time. And I'll see you guys soon. All right, Michael's out. Appreciate it.